Um, I'm not very good at telling my story, but this is what I tell
Well, don't
people.
think that you're telling your story. Just share with us, like,
Um,
what happened when you took Juice Plus.
what happened when I took food? Well, the reason that I was such a believer in it to begin with is because you're going to laugh at me, but my kids are all in their 20s now. But I can remember vividly going into the not chiropractor, the pediatrician, and saying, the doctor saying, how many fruits and vegetables do your kids eat? And I'm like, not enough. I know that. They're not horrible eaters, but not enough. And so I always remember that. And that's one thing that really stood out to me when I was introduced to the product was, oh my word, I can finally get all the fruits and vegetables that my kids need in their systems. Also for my husband and I. But I was more concerned about my kids at that point. Now my kids are very, very clean eaters and eat lots of fruits and vegetables. But I am convinced also that having them on Juice Plus now for 3 years, that I'm a true believer that once you put Juice Plus in your system for so long that you do start craving fruits and vegetables. In fact, I even have a customer that horrible eater would not eat anything and also is eating fruits and vegetables and craving them. She called me like 2 weeks ago and was like, Susan, you were right. I'm craving fruits and vegetables. So it's a great thing. But with my health issue, I was diagnosed with my second brain aneurysm and and had several blood transfusions and came out of the hospital, and my hemoglobin was extremely, extremely low on all different meds from my brain surgery. It was really a perfect storm. But anyway, I continued to, I do a little bit of ministry work at North Point Community Church, and I work in their weekday staff daycare. And I was coming home from there, and the doctor called me, and they're like, Susan, what are you doing right now? I said, oh, I'm just on my way home from working with the kids. And they're like, you're driving? I said, I am driving. They're like, no, you shouldn't be driving. I said, what do you mean I shouldn't be driving? They're like, your hemoglobin is 4.6. I don't know how you even got out of bed today. I said, oh, I just got done working with 12 2-year-olds for 8 hours. They're like, no, you shouldn't be driving. You shouldn't be walking. You shouldn't be getting out of bed. I said, well, I am. They're like, I don't know what you're doing. I said, well, I do know what I'm doing. And so I really believe that it gave me the energy to not only to function as a human being during a very difficult time in my life where I was so sick that I really didn't even know it. But so that's kind of my story. And that's why I love it so much. And people say to me, Susan, whatever you did, that's what I want, because we know what it's done for you. And you would have never known you were sick, even though you were so sick.
So you're probably, I mean, usually this happens a lot. You're able to share really well about the product,
Right.
because your results create
Right.
a bulletproof belief. Like, nobody can tell you that this isn't a good product.
Right.
And if they were, you would just have to say, well, you're wrong. You're crazy. This
Right.
is real. This is for real. I mean, the
Right.
research is there. My results are there.
Right.
The thing is, in order to, you got to be all in sharing the business too. So I think it's learning more. We spend a lot of time around the product, which is good. It makes our company better than a lot of companies.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're going to grow a big team, you have to become a professional. That's why I like the GoPro book. Just even the language he uses. He talks about going from just being like, just sharing and whatever, and I love the products, and maybe I do something, maybe I don't, to saying, hey, this is a business, and I own a franchise, and I can make money at this.
Right.
So the thing is, how do we make money? Well, it's like we make a little bit by selling Juice Plus, but that multiplies exponentially
Right.
because I have like 40 or 50 or 60 customers, something like that, 40, and Sharon has 40. Let's say we have 40 and 40. If that's all we had, that would only affect 80 families. But instead, we're over 5,000 families because we're what the company would consider team builders.
Right.
That's our main focus. Like, so
Right.
if you want to build a business that produces a lot of revenue and moves a lot of Juice Plus, that's why the company puts out the money, right? Because they're making the powders, and then nobody makes any money unless the powders are being sold to somebody. So we have to create like a sales force in a way. And I can use this language on Lunch and Learn because you're here at Lunch and Learn basically. Some people would be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm selling something. I don't want to do this anymore." Okay, whatever makes you comfortable. But yeah, so I think you need to, and ways to do that. What you're doing, being plugged in with the community, building your belief there. Getting some wins under your belt is going to build confidence.
Right.
Reading books like The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki, just so you understand the context of network marketing. It's not some freakish little thing that only a few soccer moms in the world do. This is billions and billions of dollars. There's whole companies like the Juice Plus company that their whole business model is built around this. It's just a distribution model. So Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is spending about half the money on, let's say, a Coke can. Let's say it was back in the good old days, $1 for a Coke, I guess. Well, it used to be a quarter or something. But in a dollar Coke, at least 50 cents is going to all the marketing. Think about the Super Bowl ads, the TV commercials, the billboards, the magazine print, you name it. Juice Plus doesn't have to spend hardly any of that. We're the sales force. We are the marketing. So it's just a different business model. So instead of giving the money to TV commercials and magazines, they give the money to Dr. Nalani or Susan. So that's a pretty cool business model. But learning about it, go ahead.
What's the book you mentioned, Doug?
The Business of the 21st Century, Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
He also wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is kind of like his most famous book. And it teaches you how to think. His dad was a school teacher, and his buddy's dad growing up was like an entrepreneur, real estate. Get a solid job where you get good benefits, and so you'll have a good retirement. Whereas Rich Dad was like, don't, maybe not go to college. You need to just like invest and save and buy real estate and sell it and do this and do that. It was just a whole different mindset that honestly I didn't really get. I saw Sharon building this business and I was kind of like, oh, that's cool. But I got the career. I got like a real career. I'm using my master's degree. Well, I that's the way I thought until she started out earning me.
Right.
Then I was like, wait a second, maybe Doug needs to be a distributor.
And my goal at this point, honestly, too, is my husband is close to retirement and I would love to get benefits for when we retire. That's my goal.
Well, I will say this, there's a lot of people on here at different places in the business. Nalani's a Q. We have Stacy as an NMD. I see some senior sales coordinators. Kelly, what are you? Are you senior sales? Right? So like she's getting up there and there's other people getting up there. In order to turn this into, let's say, I don't know what is a dollar amount that's significant for you that would be like, oh, this is really going to help out each month. I love this question.
I know, because I'm in a different, I've never worked out of the home and my husband does well. So, you know what I mean? So for me, it really is it's really the insurance at this point, but does any amount help? Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody else, if you want to put a number in there, I think that would be awesome because this is for all you guys. What's your monthly, Susan? The benefits is all that matters, but benefits are going to come around $5,000 a month.
That'd be great. $5,000 a month would be great. In retirement with benefits. How do you like that? There you go. $5,000 in benefits.
Okay, everybody see the chat. We see 3 or 4,000 from Kelly P. She's going to exceed that. Natalie Bogle, 5K. Natalie, goals, 10K. 5K is significant, I think she's saying, and 10K is the goal.
Yep.
Taden Hale, 2K. I know Nalani's looking at 5 figures she wants. So here's the thing. Let's say everybody gets that. Everybody gets what they want. And anybody else that wants to put in the dollar amount they would like, that let's say is significant, not your dream, but what would make it like, okay, this is for real. I'd take insurance with no pay, Sandy, but 5K would be good. That's just wild. I mean, Sharon, we've been so lucky to have like school. There is something to be said for these school board jobs and stuff that I've had. Man, people are really into benefits, but I guess when you have them, you're not worried about it. So, wow. Okay.
Yeah, let me tell you, when you have, there's somebody on our team who's just waiting for those benefits, because when you've got children that need medical care and you're paying out of pocket $2,000 and $3,000 a month, and then yeah,
oh my gosh,
benefits
you see
is the thing. Yeah.
Natalie Bogle, they were unemployed most of the year, it says here, and their COBRA payment was $2,300 a month. See, that's just wrong, man. They're doing people wrong. Okay, so let's play a game and say that the Juice Plus company is going to give you as a salary whatever you wrote in there. All right, so Kelly P, they're going to give you let's round up, 4,000. What is a reasonable amount? If you're Jay Martin, you're sitting there in Memphis, you're going to hand out all this money, okay? The company's bringing in almost a billion a year. It's like at 800 million or something. And a lot of that goes out in salaries, paying it out. So you're paying out all this money. What is a reasonable expectation the company would have for you to make your goal? How many hours per week? Let's put that number now.
Are you asking me, Dud?
Yeah, I'm asking you. I'm asking everybody.
I want to shout out my team member Taden's on. Welcome, Taden. I know
Taden, welcome.
And he's
I love that profile pic. Hey, Taden's next up. We're going to talk to him a little bit after this.
Sorry, didn't mean to call you out, Taden.
No, we listen. Once his picture showed up, Sharon already had it in mind.
Oh, he's awesome. But yeah, so you're saying what would be the level of expectation as far as like hours per week if
not your expectation. What do you think if you were Jay Martin and you were writing the check to Kelly, how much effort would you want to see for $4,000 a month?
Definitely, gosh, I don't know, because it's the leverage of time with our business model, right? So part-time, like for real, like part-time hours.
Okay, so let's say you're making 4,000 and you're going to work part-time. So we're going to divide by 20 hours a week. Okay, how about half-time, right? Is that about right? Let's not say that's what you do. Let's see what this number comes out to be. 20 hours a week times 4 is 80 hours. So 4,000 divided by 80 is $50 an hour. That's a pretty good job. I don't know where you're going to get $50 an hour.
From home with my baby.
Exactly. I think what I think it's a good exercise to do, because a lot of times, Susan, we were talking to you, a lot of times people will say, well, I need benefits. Okay, I need $5,000 a month. That's about NMD average pay starting, and you'll get benefits. But those same people sometimes, we don't think, well, what do you think the company would expect for $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month? They're going to expect quite a commitment, right? I mean, I would. If I'm going to hire you, Kelly, and I'm going to pay you $4,000 a month, you better be available. You better be responsive. You better be responsible. You know what I mean? So I think I know we like to work for ourselves and stuff, but at the same time, now that's just what would it be worth to the company to get there. You're going to do like much more work in order to get there. So if you guys, I know Susan, you're going to North Point. That's Andy Stanley's church, right?
It is, but
yeah. So you know about Dave Ramsey and Financial Peace and all that.
Right, but
Yeah,
don't worry.
and
I only work 7 hours a week, so don't
okay.
get. But
No,
what
no,
reason I do it is to stay in that community. It's a lovely community of
sure.
women. A lot of them in my position, and I have to tell you, a lot of them are on Juice Plus right now.
Okay, from you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Heck, I mean, you could build your whole business around North Point.
Oh, I could. Yeah.
I mean, because
We
you
just
also have
start-
the Buckhead campus you could go visit,
but we
and
just
others.
back in the, they just started back in the church, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in order to build, like Dave Ramsey would say, you got to do, because if you guys have been through Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace course, if you have some consumer debt, the suggestions he'll make, he'll be like, "Oh, Tayden, I like that dog. Nice." So Tayden might have a car loan. Maybe Tayden. I'm not saying you do, but if you have consumer debt and you have like a nice pickup truck that costs like 60 grand, Dave Ramsey would be like, "Sell the truck. You're done. No more truck. You pay off your credit cards. Then someday you might get a truck for cash." And it's like, wait a minute, everybody else gets to drive a Mercedes. Everybody else gets to live in $1 million house or whatever, because everybody's piling up their debt. So Dave Ramsey would say, if you're willing to live like nobody else lives for a little while, you're going to live like nobody else lives in a good way for the rest of your life. It's the same thing with this business. I mean, I took a long road to get to that point. Sharon, you can cut me off in the chat if you need to. But this is one of the most important things we can talk to you guys about, because a lot of people have these big goals and big dreams, but you got to realize you're going to have to sacrifice. That's the way it is. Okay. So because 80% of our teams are kind of just hanging around and they love the community, we don't like to talk about this kind of stuff too much because we don't want to scare people away. Oh, now I know Kelly P, this is plan A for the family. Her husband's a younger pastor. They're probably, is he not?
He's not, but he does ministry as he does life. But he
Okay.
works in Bank of America corporate.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just this last year, just celebrated his year anniversary. So,
Okay.
but this is big part of our income and a huge blessing.
Yeah.
The other day, he's like, I haven't been able to see Trey much this week, so it's just, we're so grateful, but there are those hard moments like that I'm like.
Yeah. And I can tell you, I mean, we didn't start this. How old were you, Sharon? Like 30 somethings? We were early 30s when she started and Julie started, but to be a little younger and to have good vision and great leadership. I promise you, if you keep at it, Kelly P, because I know the things you've done so far, you are going to be so set. It might take you all the way to like you're 40. I'm not saying to make NMD. I'm saying because NMD is one thing, but it's not like you're rich if you're NMD. You really want to do NMD, and then it starts growing exponentially. It goes quicker, not quicker, but it grows where you don't even know what's happening sometimes. So it's really great, but you're gonna have to make sacrifices, because if you just kind of go along, just kind of doing it, there's a lot of people that do that, and they're not like focused like a business person. Like your mortgage depends on it. Like you're gonna be homeless if you don't get some team, you're not gonna make it. I'm saying, like if you need team, but you don't get them, you might be homeless or something. Well, then you're going to work it differently. So I don't know. I would encourage you guys. I think it's always good to go all in. Of course, Jules told us about Jacksonville 2 weeks ago on a Friday, and we got in the car Sunday morning, and now our house is under contract and we have a new one under contract. So we're a little crazy in the Farrar family. But I don't know. No guts, no glory. You got to do it, man. When you get vision, you run. The way I always say it, when God opens a door, I'm not like looking through saying, what is going on in here? I don't know about this door. I'm not going in there. When the door opens, I'm like, let's go. And we run. And we live the dream. I also like to say, you ain't living the dream unless you're living the dream. So you got to do some crazy stuff. And I think it's not crazy to do the business. It'll pay off.
Doug, are you leaving Southern Florida?
Oh yeah, we're going up near Jacksonville.
Oh.
We just decided a couple weeks ago. It's Jules' fault. We're going to be neighbors with Kelly Petrohovich.
Oh, that is so funny.
You'll only be an hour and a half from me.
That's right. That's right. Look out. Nilani's already got events lined up for us.
Oh, we're gonna have backyard parties and all the backyard fun.
Kelly, get Heather to rent out the clubhouse. We got to do a back to school event at Eagle
I thought you
Landing.
said-
All right.
What's a back to school event?
Well, I know you were asking Natalie about summer. So in summer, I'm not talking to Tayden here or myself, but a lot of you guys that are like moms, when kids get out for the summer, you know, next thing you know, it's time for well, you're in South Florida or Delray or something, right, Natalie?
Yeah.
So now it's splash pad season, right? So like moms are going to be out at the splash pads, and you just go out and go to mom events. You know what? Who did this? Sandy. Sandy started the fun, or maybe it was Michelle, the Fun Moms Club, and Sharon, right? Somebody has the Fun Moms Club. It's not a real club. It's just a group. And there's people in there. And I don't think Michelle even touches that group. But now it's summer. She'll be like, hey, moms, let's have fun. Let's go to the splash pad. Boom. You just network. So Natalie, whatever time of year it is, you network and you make things happen. You figure out if you're in, if you're up near Tampa and it's January, it's strawberry season. I'd be doing a strawberry event if I lived in Lake or Plant City. I don't know what I'm going to do in North Florida, but I know if there ain't a garden club in Eagle Landing, there's about to be a garden club, and I'm the president.
Oh my goodness. Wow. You got a lot from Doug today.
That's it.
So does anybody want to comment on any of the items shared so far?
I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it because it's the core of why we're here. You know, we're talking about our why, we're talking about having a dream, but hey, dreams don't do anything if you don't put the work to it. And so the reality of what you were talking about is so necessary. It's so awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Well,
And Doug and Sharon, I just got my permit over the phone just right now for the little town that I'm moving to, because they have arts and crafts fairs throughout the whole summer.
yes.
And so I'm now legal to attend each one of those events. And so it's all throughout the whole summer. My first one will be just 6 days after I arrive. And that's a 2-day Memorial Day event. And then the next one will be a 3-day event in June. But they have a monthly event as well on the courthouse lawn. So I will be meeting a lot of people.
So you're going to you have a vendor booth, you mean? Or is it just to go to?
And I will be taking my my home tower edition with me. And I actually, through Facebook, met someone that lives in a town that's about 45 miles away. And she's also with Juice Plus, and I'm going to meet her there, and she's going to be with me on my first booth. And we're going to work together those 2 days, which will be nice, because when you have to go to the bathroom, it's hard to go someplace if you're the only person in your booth. So yes, so I'm starting on the 29th and 30th of May. I get my truck and I arrive in Bandera on the 23rd of May. So it's going to be a real fast turnaround. But
that
the
kind
town
of
of
stuff really
Medina
inspires me, because she hasn't even moved there yet, folks, and she's already gotten her approval to be a vendor. So I mean, that makes me like want to run through walls, because I get inspired, because I'm like, man, I'm moving somewhere. I mean, why aren't I doing the groundwork yet? So now she just raised the bar. So every time somebody raised the bar, I like to keep trying to jump over the bar. You know, like, don't get discouraged when you hear stuff, guys. And you got to adapt everything to your scenario. Darby just retired, by the way. You look wonderful, and everybody looks a little more relaxed after they retire, don't they? And she's moving. It's an exciting time. But you have to adapt. Everybody's situation is different. So when I say you got to do something crazy, you know, you might not be in a position. I mean, Kelly's work load right now is different than before she had a baby. You know, she has different things going on right now.
And so Doug, this little town that I'm moving to, the population is 900. And when they have these fairs, there's like 25,000 plus people that come to their fairs. And these fairs have been going on for years.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be a great way to meet people.
You got any buddies where you're moving as far as work, Juice Plusers?
Well, I just met, no, yes, I do. I do have a partner, and I do have 2 customers there.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, make sure you bring, like Kelly said, bring a buddy. It's way easier to do a booth because once you're talking to somebody, especially if you're getting a relationship going, it's hard to stay in that conversation when you're thinking, oh my gosh, here comes another one. Oh, they're looking at the tower. Oh my gosh, I can't talk to them. So if you have a buddy, you can kind of switch on and off.
Yes. I'm hoping to get my partner there, the lady that's going to be coming. We're just going to be meeting that day. And she lives in Kerrville, Texas, which is about 35 miles away from Bandera. So she's never done a fair before either. So going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So back to Susan's original thing, she wants to get team, right? So I heard a lot of different things, but what it also comes down to is how much time are you investing in building your belief in the business side of what we do? Coming on Lunch and Learns, that's great. Absolutely. So what are we doing to build our belief in the business? One of the things that I love is the bullet point list, and Doug can bring that up. But I want to hear from you guys in the chat, and I have it written out. What do you love about the business? Because you're going to need to have these things in your mind so that it could just flow naturally when you do talk to people. So there's the 30 reasons worksheet. There's our bullet point sheet. And I remember, Nalani, that Nanette, when she finally decided to start reading business books, that's when she started to attract more team, right?
I believe that was the story, yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
And not just Eric Worre Go Pro, but Robert Kiyosaki,
Business of the 21st Century.
Business of the 21st Century. So in the chat, thank you, Michelle. No pressure or quotas, small product line. I love small product line. I mean, you guys, can you even imagine some of the other businesses where you have a whole catalog and you have to speak out of many sides of your mouth about toilet paper or shampoo or vitamins or essential oils, and there's like so many products. We have a narrow product focus, which actually on here it says small product line because not everybody understands what a narrow product focus is, so that you're just talking about one thing, bridging the gap between what we're supposed to eat and what we actually do eat. Okay, so that is a beautiful thing. No quota. So anytime I'm talking to somebody about, and I wouldn't, you want to try to not say business some of the times. You can describe it. You say, would you like to make some extra income? Where really you're just sharing something for a few seconds, you're sending a video, you're following up, and you're going to help people get healthy. That's better, or actually more descriptive of what we do than say, would you like a business? There was a quote a long time ago by Jeff Herberti. People don't walk into McDonald's and say, I want a burger, a fry, and a franchise. So franchise is a little scary. Business is a little scary, right? So you want to make it seem like they could do it, however you want to say it to them. So let's see what everybody loves. Okay, so Michelle loves.
Where is this list from?
So I made this list.
Oh, okay.
I put it together on what I love about this business. So on the left top quadrant is, what makes us bulletproof about the products. Okay, everything that makes us bulletproof about the product. It's the largest selling nutritional product in a capsule in the world. We should be shouting from the rooftops, right? It's the most researched nutritional product in a capsule in the world. It's got a food label, gluten-free, vegan, NSF certified, NSF sports certified. Like, You go to any Toonies or Whole Foods or Amazon, you're not going to see all that, right? And then you're not going to see that the children are getting it free with an adult sponsor. So the things that you want to get passionate about, you want to figure out, what am I passionate about? So to represent a company where thousands of doctors recommend Juice Plus and they have all those other things in the top quadrant. So maybe you could practice this. You just run through this list in your head. You know, you practice it while you're driving or whatever. Not while you're driving, looking at the list, but obviously. But you've got to have some things you're excited about. Okay, so then the next part of the quadrant, narrow product focus is what it used to say, but it's small product line. Like there's just so many. There's the micronutrients, there's the omega, there's the complete, and there's the Tower Garden. I mean, it's not very many things, right? So it makes it easier. And then leverage of time. That used to say residual income. We're not saying residual income now because it gives people a false sense that they could just sit back and it's a pyramid. It's not. But we have a leverage of time. Like I can be working here. Nalani can be working in Lake Mary. Stacy can be working in New Mexico, and everybody's working, but yet I'm going to benefit, right? That's leverage of time. That's also it's a consumable product. So past the point of sale, people are continuing to consume it, which also provides that extra or residual income. That's also leverage of time. I don't have to put in new orders. I don't have to go drop them off because also the company delivers it. So there's so much time leverage. We have systems too that leverage our time, like Vox or things like that, right? So there's a lot of leverage of time in this business. So you could talk about that with people, right? And then we're part of the wellness industry, which continues to grow. All right. Doug, I'll stop talking because I know he doesn't like me to go through the whole list.
Well, I think other people could explain what they like and why they like it.
Let's see. Kelly P's got a lot written down. Joy. I'd love to hear from Joy. Let's hear from Joy.
Hi, Sharon.
I'm always going to pick on you whenever I can. I saw your face earlier. I know you're like, why did I show my face?
No, I was doing some work stuff, so I didn't want to look like I was preoccupied. I put it in the chat, but yeah, I love that there are no quotas. That's the first thing I tell people when I talk about the business. Like nobody's standing over you saying, you got to get these 5 customers, you got to get these 2 team members. It's you work the business as little or as much as you like, and we're going to love on you, and you're still going to be a part of the community no matter what. I think that's like the best thing you can say to somebody when you're talking to them about the business. And I love that there's no inventory. You're not going to have to buy all this stuff and keep it in the corner of your back room or in your garage or wherever. I think it's so funny when I'm talking to people and they're like, well, can you just give me a packet of stuff? And I'm like, I don't have stuff at my house. Like my stuff is what I consume. So, and then the $52, like you can't beat that. You pay $52 for the year, and you know, you can end up making so much money depending on, you know, how things go for you and how you work the business. I absolutely love that this company wants to make sure children start out with good nutritional habits. And so at as early as age 4, they'll let the children have it for free for up to 4 years. I mean, I don't know any other company that's doing anything like that. So, and then the community, I mean, it's amazing. So I think that's what I probably talk a little bit the most on, because I truly do love this community. Like what I've just learned so much from this community. And so, and I've definitely changed as a person. And so again, if you want to make, you know, $100 a month, or if you want to make, you know, $10,000 in a month, it doesn't matter. You're still welcome. Like Sharon still loves on me. She still encourages me. She still pushes me. And that's what I absolutely love.
I'm really excited for all of you guys to take the training what is it called? Ditch the Pitch.
Yeah.
It's coming up for everybody. And one of the things we're learning, and Susan, I think this would help you, and also even what Joy was saying. So for Joy, the community is like the highlight of everything, whether it's business or product. It's the community. Okay. I have different. I mean, if she tried to sell me the business, and she's talking about how I'm going to be like hanging around with people and going to the park at like 6 a.m. to run and swim at the beach, I'd be like, this is not my thing. So good luck with that. But if you talk to me, if you ask questions and stuff, you'll find out that I like the idea of time freedom and not having limits. I felt like I was doing pretty good in my other careers, but I didn't like the way it's like whatever level I made it up to, it's like, okay, we've maxed that out. That ain't going to go any higher, so this, so my point is that people have different things. So in Ditch the Pitch, this is like the cheat sheet. Number one is we think input before output. So before you start talking to people about the business opportunity, you would ask lots of questions and get to know, what do they want? What are they excited about? What are their dreams? Things like that. And yeah, this list is great. One of the things that's great, like Sharon said, to kind of know this stuff. By the way, I put a link to this in the chat. This is on the gotransformers.net site, which is our own website. And we just have a few things on the site. We just use this as a place to put the stuff we go back to over and over so that you guys would have access to it. But as if you were to talk to me and find out, thinking you're getting input about me before you start talking, once you do start talking, you would know which thing to talk about. Oh yeah, well, this is in 20 countries. It's been around for 50 years. It's a small consumable product line that'll really allow you to leverage your time. This is what it looks like. And I'd be like, oh, leverage time, good company that's been around for a while. And then the second step, according to this, is size up the scene. So I love the fact that the guy, Steve, that teaches this course, he says, talking to somebody new, like us talking for the first time, Susan, it's like I've walked into a movie theater in the middle of the movie. Your life is the movie. And I would never start talking or being, acting like I know anything about the movie or anything unless I just watch the movie and figure out, what is this scene? What's going on here? So we got to remember to do that. So we have to be slow to speak and quick to listen.
Right. You're not going to have this bullet point list and start saying it to all the people, unless you're on a three-way call and you were invited to talk about the business. You could use this for like a presentation or to walk people through it. But you want to have it in your head. The whole thing is posture and belief and confidence. You've got to have that in order to bring somebody along, to say, come on along. This is awesome. Come on along. Everything's come on along, according to Wendy Campbell. So Tayden, let's hear from you. Got to pick on you before we go. We're glad to see you on here. Are you still on here?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I can't see him. There you are. Okay. You're like right in the middle. I was looking all around. Tell me, out of that list, what gets you excited?
I like the flexibility and the time. I'm super busy, so being able to work the business when I have time is a plus, and just the health benefits. The fact that we have a product that is transforming people from the inside out, literally.
Absolutely. So sometimes when I want to invite somebody to a three-way call from the team, I'll say, let's get them on a call so we can figure out how to streamline to include it in the life they already have. Because we're talking to people all day, in life. We're talking. We just have to figure out how can we manage our time better to just make sure we're intentional to talk to 2 new people a day. Really, that's the ultimate. Okay, to talk to 2 new people a day. Also to follow up with people that you may have, lost track of. So really, the business is all about trying to work it into whatever your interests are, whatever your business already is, or your activities. Whether you're a soccer person or a gym person or, whatever you're doing, going to work. You just want to think about who are my 2 people today that I'm going to make sure I share with. If it's on social media, that's fine. But that's really the key. And it doesn't take but 30 seconds. We don't want you to talk longer than 30 seconds. So just that just reminded me of, Taden, when you said it really doesn't take that long. And you can work it into, whatever routine. And there's absolutely time freedom that comes after you've had exponential growth. So we still have to invite people to the team. You don't need to have that many, quote, leaders that are working the business to have thousands of dollars a month. You've got to find the leaders, the people that will lead people. Okay. And leaders are not always, born. They're created over time through personal growth. So sometimes, people come to the business, they're not a leader, but they become a leader because they plug in and they do personal growth and they attract people. Then they become a leader. Some people already have that, so they come in and they light the world on fire, but they might be missing something else, So you just need like 5 leaders, okay? 5 people who are sales coordinator, 3 or 4 that are POB, okay? Which means they have team that are moving, or they just have team that are doing something. So it really doesn't take a lot, but you have to go through the process. You have to go through the people that are not going to do the business, okay? So to always talk about business, you've got to just attract anybody who has a network of people. We all have it. By the time we're 30, we have 700 people we know. So you want to get yourself in front of somebody else's network of people. You've got to get team that way. And then they may not even be that person. They might attract other people to an event that do take off, that want the business. So, the business is beautiful, but you've got to work it. You've got to get it. You got to get in front of people and have this information. Dougie,
that happens all the time. So that's a great point for Susan and everybody, is that you might if you bring on John to the team, John might do a few orders, get one customer, and then we'll be like, hey, how's it going with John? And you shouldn't be like, well, John's not doing anything. I can't get him to call me back or anything. Well, wait a minute. Who does John know? I mean, so we never let that stop us. So when you join our team, and there's people right now on here that have people in between them and us, but it's like that person, I mean, they may have signed up like 15 years ago. They don't do anything. Maybe they have their own order and they're smart enough to keep their franchise. If they were really smart, they would qualify, so they would get full amount of money. But yeah, so like sometimes the person doesn't lead you to the pot of gold, the person that they know, and then they have a sister-in-law, and that's the one that's going to be an NMD or something. So you always, I was just talking to our realtor who was over. I was talking about like how similar realty is to network marketing. And we were talking about our approaches, and she's very open-handed, which I think is how Sharon and I approach things. We never have big expectations. I never talk to, Taden, I don't know if you, like Kelly is under Julie. No matter what, I'm never going to make a cent off of Kelly or Taden. But it doesn't even enter my mind. I'm so excited to move up near Kelly and hang out with John, her husband, and we're going to do events together. Why would I do events? And we're like higher up in the business. What are we getting out of this? Know what we're getting out of it? We help everybody no matter what. That's how we live our lives. We love people. We love God. We help people. We serve people. And we just keep meeting people. And there's never a dollar sign. When Sharon met Michelle Fletcher in the parking lot at LA Fitness, there was no dollar signs on her forehead or something. She wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to make some money off of this girl. She met her and they've been like sisters ever since. They are just like 2 peas in a pod, those two. I can hardly handle to be around them. It's like my wife times 2. They're just talking and losing their glasses and stuff. And that's what they do. Where's my car keys? What's going on? Oh my gosh. Because that's how they are. But yeah, so just keep meeting people, lots of people. Don't get too technical. Don't meet somebody. And did you know Sharon used that word posture? So when you meet somebody, Tatum, when you meet somebody, you want to have a posture of confidence, an air of like, you know what you're doing, you know your product's good, you don't really care if they order or not. You know, you don't need them. If I meet Janie Hawkins and I'm like, oh, you're listening to me? Oh my gosh, can I send you a video? Will you really listen to it? Because a lot of times people don't listen to the videos and stuff. You know, I mean, it's like you got to have a posture. That's where the whole saying "fake it till you make it" comes from. You must assume the posture that you are already making 5 figures a month, that you are a bad mamma jamma. And when you talk to somebody, you know your stuff. Because guess what? Don't you have like Julie Herbst a phone call away? You have one of the greatest 3-way callers in the world that you can literally say, hey, Julie, my my doctor wants to get on the phone and I was wondering if you could take the time. Okay. You know, so, yeah, just keep talking to people and keep loving on people, and it comes together. But realize that you always want to just keep an open, always loving everybody, and I think it comes together in that way. That's what I was talking to the realtor about. She does the same thing, and she gets random text messages. Hey, can you sell my house? Just like we get random. Hey, I'm ready to order Juice Plus now. It's like now after 10 years of us telling you about it, you know, come on. But okay, thank you.
That's so good, Doug.
Thank you. All right, Sharon, why don't you land this plane?
Speaking of which, here's our realtor, honey. You can.
Oh yeah, I told her to call at 1. It's 1:01.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.